There we go. Hi, how are you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Good, good.
Good. I haven't seen you for a while. You've got the background. Is that an Arizona backdrop behind you?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
this is it. So, yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, welcome. First of all, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to come and talk to all of us. I'm super excited to have you here. I know that so many people are getting pumped for the World Juniors this year. I think we've all been really missing hockey a lot, and so I think people are like extra excited this year, and we're really happy to have you on as a guest. So I just want to kind of start off with what you're doing now. You're back in Arizona, which is super
hmm
exciting. The NHL's announced a season, which is
Yeah.
amazing. Let's just start with that. How do you feel about the announcement and the shortened season and the plan, and what's sort of the overall mood and thoughts on the NHL season?
Yeah, it's just amazing to get a date. I think that was the biggest thing, just kind of get things in motion. Obviously, it's been a crazy past coming up on a year, I guess. So, to kind of have a date and a plan and everything just to kind of get in the full swing of things here coming into the season. It's very exciting.
Awesome. And I noticed that you were on loan actually you were playing in the Liga League. That's the Finnish Elite League,
Yes.
right? And
Yeah.
so when were you
Yeah.
there? What was that like for you? I think you played about 8 games there.
Yeah, I played 8 games over there. Yeah, just coming out of the bubble and everything like that is something that was kind of on my mind, being able to go somewhere and play, obviously with the uncertainty of when the NHL season's going to start. So we were able to figure something out, and I was able to go over there to a great organization in Elvis and play some games. And yeah, I think it was just very beneficial for me to go over there and kind of try to get a jump start on the season.
Yeah, well, nice to be playing some games. I know people are like starving over here in Canada without any games and things locked down here. So again, I think it's just that much more special for you to be on here and give us a little bit of taste of hockey and
Yeah, for sure.
get going with that. So good to be in the swing of things. I want to talk a little bit NHL hockey before we dive into the World Juniors.
Sounds
And
good.
actually, maybe I'll just give you a bit of an introduction for those of you that don't know your background. I found that you were born in Peterborough, which I actually did not know. So
hmm
we actually have a lot of interesting connections because you were born in Peterborough. I work with the Peterborough Petes.
hmm
You played in the GTHL in your minor midget year for the Toronto Red Wings. And I don't know
Yes.
if you know this, but I actually watched you play quite a bit when you were in minor hockey in Toronto.
Really?
I did, yep.
Didn't know that.
Yep, you did not know that. And then you played in the OHL with the Sioux,
Yeah,
and
yeah, Susie Marie.
then drafted 2018. You were a first round, fifth overall pick to the Arizona Coyotes, where I now work and you now play. So that's
Yeah,
it's kind of cool. We
here
have
we
some
are,
cool connections there.
for sure.
So talk to me a little bit NHL hockey, get drafted to the NHL. Maybe just tell everybody, like, what is it like to step on the ice for the first NHL game? What does that feel like?
Yeah, it's a crazy feeling. Really thinking about it, it's something you dream of your entire life.
Yeah.
That's kind of your goal, your entire childhood. So yeah, it's pretty crazy, and it's pretty cool, the ritual of going out there for your solo lap. Getting out there, the guys kind of stay back, and it's funny, but it's really cool. And then getting into the game, it's pretty surreal. It's something you don't really notice till after the fact. When you're in it, you're just playing, you're just doing your thing. So, but being able to look back at it afterwards and kind of soak it all in, and your family's there. That's such a cool thing that they got to come down to your game, and the team flies them in and everything. So,
Nice.
yeah, it's special.
They get to share in the dream, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, awesome. What was it like you scored some interesting goals, which we're going to talk about for sure.
hmm
But first NHL goal, what did that feel like?
Yeah, that was same thing. It's just such a long time coming. Something you dream of all the time. You're out there messing around with your friends, joking around, pretending you're scoring in the NHL. So that's another crazy cool feeling.
Crazy cool feeling. So how do you prepare now? Do you guys prepare any differently for this upcoming season? Any kind of strategies or mental preparation that you do, or any kind of thoughts going into a season that obviously looks a little bit different, right? I think that, you know, everybody has faced changes and challenges, and certainly hockey and what things are going to look like. How do you prepare for this type of a season?
Yeah, it's definitely unique. I think kind of my preparation started um, really pretty much after the bubble when I wanted to go over to Europe. So I think that was a big thing, just getting ready and kind of getting those reps, and just know that coming into camp I'll be feeling great, and I'll kind of be in that game shape and be in that game form that I can kind of start off running with. But at the same time, it's an NHL season. Everyone's dialed in the way they prepare. I mean,
Yeah.
with the new format and the schedule and everything, it'll be different. You're playing the same team so many times, and
Yeah.
it'll be cool though. There'll be rivalries, and
Yeah.
it'll be a great year.
Yeah. New challenges, new opportunities, right? Talk to us. And speaking of challenges, what was it like in the bubble? What was it? What was that experience like going into the bubble, and also just kind of having a playoff experience, and obviously a very different experience at that. What was it
Yeah,
like for you?
yeah. The bubble was crazy, but really at the end of the day, you have to applaud the NHL for being able to pull that off, and
Yeah.
obviously having no COVID cases and all that is just speaks words to how much work they put in. But it was crazy. It's really you really take for granted how nice it is being able to go out and live everyday life, and just be all over the place, and be with your family, and see different people. So
Yeah.
being in there it was unique, but you see the teams who are in there for so long, and you have to applaud them for their mental strength and being able to kind of bear all that. And so yeah, it was a unique process, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was what we had to do.
For sure. I had an opportunity to do some work with uh, Rick Tocchet, coach of the Arizona Coyotes, to help sort of give him some ideas and messages to help you guys go into the bubble, and how to prepare you guys for the bubble. So that was really fun for me to work on
Hmm.
with Rick Tocchet as well. What was the biggest challenge for you inside the bubble, and what was something surprisingly nice about it, or a good part about it?
Yeah, I think probably the biggest thing was just not being outside much. Obviously, being in big
Yeah.
cities, it's hard to have too much of the city locked off just for the bubble. So
Sure.
they had a courtyard and stuff like that. So there's definitely places you could go to get some air, but just being how I am, I like to be outside. I like to kind of have that fresh air. So that was definitely something that was something I found was pretty tough. But
Yeah.
I think there's actually a couple things that were good. I think just being able to spend so much time with the guys. I mean, in the season, being on the road's fun, and being around the guys, and playing cards, and just kind of bonding, going to dinners and stuff like that. So that was just kind of a large scale version of that. So
Yeah.
it was fun.
Awesome. All right, let's talk World Junior Hockey. I know that's what everybody's waiting to hear about. So
Hmm.
we are going to go back to last year, captain of Team Canada at the World Juniors. What was that experience like for you? So we're going to get into that, but I'll even backtrack before the tournament started, because I think I remember there being some questioning about whether or not Arizona was going to let you go.
Hmm.
Um, Tell me a little bit about that, and what you were thinking and what you were hoping for during that time.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, being in the position I was in, there was a little debate or whatever whether I would be released or not. And for me personally, really anytime you can represent your country, you're going to jump at that. So
For sure.
when they gave me the good light or the green light or whatever to go, I was really excited, especially with playing in 2019, and kind of having a bitter taste in my mouth from that year.
Yeah.
It was just all the more incentive to go there and bring home gold.
Yeah. Well, you made it happen as captain of the team, and certainly playing an instrumental role in that. So let's talk a little bit about the injury. I'll go semifinals, right? It was a semifinal
Yes,
game.
yeah, semifinals.
Yeah. So it was the shoulder. What happened in that game? What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty crazy. Obviously going into the semifinals against a strong Finnish team. We came out well, and we built up a bit of a lead, and I want to say it was early in the third period. I was just coming down. It was just an awkward play. Myself and a Finnish defenseman, we both fell and slid into the boards, and it was just such an awkward angle, and
Yeah.
just didn't feel right. So right when that happened, I was pretty concerned. Kind of the biggest thing I think most athletes can attest to this is when you get hurt, you're just kind of worried about how long you're going to be out and
Yeah.
whatever, if you're going to miss anything. So I was fortunate that we had the doctors and the training staff that we did that took real good care of me. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you think that you were going to play that gold medal game?
In my mind, I always did. I mean, I think you think you're gonna play through just about anything in that opportunity, but it was definitely a long day trying to figure things out, and obviously the doctors and they need to make sure that you're healthy enough to protect yourself and be safe out there.
Right.
So you have your tests and all that you got to go through, and yeah, at the end of the day, it was good enough to go. So I'm very grateful for that.
For sure. I think definitely there's a lot of question marks right around that. Everybody kind of waiting to hear whether you're going to be good to go or not. But I actually love what
Mhm.
you just said. Like in your mind, you were good to go. Like you were playing
Yeah,
that game. And I think that is so important. Obviously, what I do, but just how powerful mindset is. And I always say that the mind leads the body, right? And you believe it in your
hmm
mind. You're playing that game. And, you know, sure enough, you went out there and certainly played an instrumental role as a leader and for the team. So, let's talk a little bit more about the game. You know, I think World Juniors in general, to be honest, for Team Canada, you guys faced a lot of adversity right from the get-go. You guys lost to Russia 6-0
yes,
in the beginning, right? And now you're
yeah.
facing them in the gold medal game. But you know, going down 6-0 to Russia, I think there was a ton of injuries, you included. There were suspensions. Like there was a lot of things that were going on. And you know, it's something that I think just knowing you as a player, something that I've always really respected in you is this level of resilience and strength. And it's something that I've always seen in the way that you play. And you certainly didn't disappoint. But talk to me about just sort of overcoming the adversity and the mindset going into that gold medal game.
Yeah, as you said, the whole tournament for us was a roller coaster to say the least.
Yeah.
There's a lot of obstacles and everything that I think in the end it really helped us. I mean, when you're going through it, it obviously sucks. You never want to go through all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff, but I think it was pretty storybook being able to face Russia in the finals.
Yeah.
Obviously after going through that, and then um, yeah, so I think it just all came together there, and we were better off when we faced them the second time, and going through what we did, and obviously it's such a short tournament, so you're really building every game, and that was obviously the pinnacle of the tournament, and we showed up.
Yeah, for sure. There's a quote by Tony Bennett. He's a basketball coach, NCAA basketball coach, and he used this quote with his team, and you know, it definitely kind of applies to what you're talking about, which is if you use the adversity right, it can buy you a ticket to a place you could have never gotten to any other way. And I think, you know, it was a picture perfect finish
Yeah,
in that game. So yeah, definitely it bought you a great ticket to a gold
yeah, that
medal. So
definitely applies.
yeah, so let's go right to the third period because I think you guys were down
Yes,
3-2
three
towards the,
one,
what was it?
3-1. Yeah, we went down
3-1.
3-1.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Yes. Okay. So what was it like being down 3-1? What are you guys thinking? What are you
Yeah,
saying to each
that
other?
was another kind of weird feeling because I think we tied it 1-1 and then went down 2-1, then 3-1. And it was kind of strange. Nobody on our bench really panicked. Nobody was too worried, and kind of going
Amazing.
into a third period down two in the gold medal game. That's a lot of pressure, a lot of stress, and being in that position it was pretty cool how calm guys were, and how confident the bench was, and
Wow.
yeah, it was pretty cool.
I love that, because that's what it takes, right? To be able to rise to the occasion when it counts. And, you got to know how to focus on the right things at the right times. And you guys certainly did that. So being down, you kept going. I think then 3-2, I think 6 minutes, something left, six.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, so there's your moment. Here it comes. It's a power play. Walk us through what was going on and that tying goal for you.
Yeah, our power play all tournament long had been so strong, and we'd had a lot of success. So getting that opportunity at that point in the game, you have to score. So being out there, obviously, I don't really know how to summarize it. Kind of getting that puck, and we'd worked the flanks pretty well all tournament. So obviously getting that shot off and seeing it go in, and kind of everything, the whole state of it all was pretty crazy, and it's definitely one of the best feelings I've ever had.
I bet you've mentioned before the word surreal. I bet that's kind of a surreal moment,
Yeah, to say the least.
Okay, so then you guys are down 3-2. Keel Thomas scores the fourth goal. You're up now 1 goal. Now could have been one of the craziest things that I've seen in hockey.
Yeah.
You're on a penalty kill, right? So they're trying to get back in the game, and the puck is tossed over the glass. What were those moments when you guys, I don't know, you tell me what was going through your head. What was the talk on the bench when you guys could have almost gone down 5-3 with under 2 minutes left in the game? And
Yeah.
What were you guys thinking then?
Yeah, that was unbelievable. I mean, I think everyone was just confused. Nobody really.
Yeah.
Some of the guys were saying it hit someone's stick and went over, and at that moment, you're just arguing your own side, and you're not too sure. So honestly, I think most of us never knew the ruling, whether it hit a camera or what, and so that was crazy. I mean, that's some sort of hockey gods helping us out, but that was a crazy moment for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Well, the hockey gods were with Team Canada that day, and then the call went in your favor. You guys killed the penalty. That final buzzer, I don't even know if you can put words on that feeling. I mean, I think you had the entire country going crazy with you. Can you put any words to that moment?
Honestly, not really. I think it's just such a moment with so many. Obviously, we touched on the roller coaster it was, and you just kind of go numb, and it was pretty crazy being over in Europe and the number of Canadians, and the support we had inside the arena. The energy was wild, and so just being able to kind of soak up that moment, and all the guys kind of hugging each other and just kind of having a good time was really cool.
Well, I'm so glad that you were in it and you got to play through the injury. How bad was the shoulder after the game?
After the game, it was fine. I mean, the flight home, and that was a little rough. But honestly, after the game, you're not feeling any pain or anything like that.
Yeah, it's a natural
you're on
high,
cloud
right?
nine. Yeah, exactly.
For sure, absolutely. All right, well, I have some questions people actually sent in. I've seen you guys a ton of questions coming up as we've been chatting, but I just kind of wanted to give us a chance to be able to go through all of that. Certainly, an amazing moment in history, an amazing moment for you, and thank you so much for sharing it. I have a bunch of questions that people sent me in beforehand, so I'm gonna fire off some of those questions and see if you can give some answers. I think we might have talked about some of them, but somebody said, what thoughts did you have going into the gold medal game? And how did you mentally prepare for playing the gold medal game?
Yeah, I mean, it would have been a different story if I wasn't questionable or debating how whether I was going to play or what. But usually you kind of have your routine and everything like that. But it was pretty much thrown out the window in my situation. But the entire day I was just focused on kind of the big thing were those tests passed on by the doctors to get the okay. So I was trying to work through rehab and whatever you want to call it throughout that day to be able to pass those tests come game time. So that was kind of my mental game day prep there. So it wasn't anything too crazy.
Right. It was more focused on just getting through it and
Yeah,
getting in there. Like
exactly.
just,
Yeah,
you got
yeah,
to get into that game for sure.
yeah.
100%. Um, let me see what else we got. So I think you answered this. What it feel like to score the tying goal? We've kind of touched on that. What it feel like when the puck went over the glass? Let me see what else. Describe the last 5 minutes. Somebody wants to know of the gold medal game. What
Yeah,
was the talk on the bench? Like what were your coaches saying? What happened in those last 5 minutes?
I think coming back and tying the game up, whatever time that was at, 6 or 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Just such an emotion-filled moment. Obviously the crowd's going crazy and everyone's really into it. And I think obviously you want to soak up that energy, but at the same time you want to kind of get back to even keel and you're in a game. And so I think that was the biggest thing. Everyone just kind of calming down a little bit and just getting back to work. I think that was the biggest thing in those last 5 minutes. I mean, as you said, we had that penalty kill and the camera thing, and we actually ended the game on, I think, a 5-on-3 for us or something like that. So it was all really really a roller coaster as everything else in the tournament was. But
Yeah.
like I said, I think the biggest thing was just trying to stay even keel and stay in the moment.
Yeah, and obviously not an easy thing to do. There was so much going on. But that stay in the moment, I think that is so key for any players out there watching. It's something that I talk a lot about, is being really just present focused, because you got to be able to give all your attention to whatever it is in front of you in that given moment. And there was certainly a lot to deal with and a lot of things going on. So
For sure.
I think that's really powerful words, to be able to stay in the moment and help you do what you need to do out there. Okay, good question here. Reflecting on your experience, what is the biggest takeaway from being a captain and a leader on the team?
It's hard to say. It's just such a unique tournament there, and obviously being a leader and being part of that leadership group, it's unique because you're coming there with the experience, and I was fortunate enough to be a returning player and have that. So I think the biggest thing is trying to bring everyone together. It's so short term. It's such a cutthroat tournament where you can't do too much wrong, and there's not too much room for error. So that was the kind of the biggest thing, is being able to adapt and know what your group needs.
Yeah.
That's kind of the biggest thing I took from that.
Yeah, I heard you talk about in the interview after, or they interviewed you on the ice, and you actually talked about how close the group was, and that it was a special group. You're talking about how they came together. Tell us a little bit about that. It was a close-knit group. What was that like?
Yeah, it was really cool. It was like I said in there, it was a really close group. I mean, most of those tournaments, everyone gets along and everything is smooth, but obviously people coming from different backgrounds, people knowing different guys and stuff like that. Sometimes it's a little different, but that year our group, everyone hung out with everyone. Everyone got together so well, and it was just really cool. I think the dynamic of the team just was fit really well. I mean, there was jokesters and guys like that, and it was just such a good dynamic, and obviously it worked out for us.
It sure did. Somebody wants to know, what New Year's resolutions do you have, if any? So completely different kind of question.
A call. Sorry, I missed that question. I just got a call as you were saying that, so
no problem.
Cut you off.
It's a completely different question. Somebody wants to know, what New Year's resolutions, if any, do you have for this coming year?
This is kind of a New Year's resolution, kind of something I've been working on for a little bit, I guess. Kind of quarantine. I don't know if you lost me there again. I got another call.
Yeah, we lost you. You're a popular guy.
Yeah, just trying to stay off my phone a bit more. I think that's kind of a thing for me, that sometimes you get caught on there too much during the day, and just trying to stay off my phone a bit. My roommate last year, Jason Demers, he loved giving me a hard time for that once in a while, so it's kind of an inside joke with us. But that's kind of the biggest thing I've been trying to improve.
I love it. I love it. That's a good one. Let me see what else. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna end this with a little bit of fun. I want to do just a little bit of hockey trivia with you. I saw that they're doing it. You're rolling your eyes.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Well, it's going to be different. I promise.
Okay.
I saw on TSN they're doing the guys this year, and they're doing World Junior Hockey trivia. I'm going to take you back to minor hockey and do a little trivia that way, just to be completely different. Let me see what I want to ask you. So, you played for the Toronto Red Wings. Do you remember what rink the OHL Cup was held in?
I was called something else before, but Scotiabank Pond.
Yes, good for you.
Yes,
it's Scotiabank Pond. It was Buckingham Arena, I think.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
All right, so we're 1 for 1 so far, which is very good.
Perfect.
What team eliminated you from the OHL Cup?
Don Mills Flyers.
There you go.
Yeah, I remember that.
Did it end in regulation time, or did it need overtime?
Overtime.
How many periods?
2 or 3. I think 2.
I think it was double overtime for sure. Okay, now, so you're doing pretty good. I think we're 3 for 3. Here's my trick question, though. This is how I knew you in minor hockey and how I ended up watching you there. My son played for the Don Mills Flyers.
Okay.
He has a different last name than me. Any idea who he was on the Don Mills Flyers?
I know he was a defenseman.
Oh, you do? Okay. Good for you.
I think he was number 74, maybe.
Wow, I'm impressed. Okay, I'm going to give it to you. 74. Noah Heisler is his name, but that's a pretty good memory. So you absolutely aced my minor hockey trivia. I'm going to wrap up with one final question for you. For any young players out there, I say that, work heavily on the draft and looking at players that are being drafted to the NHL. It's a tough road to get to the NHL, and I'm just curious, what advice might you have, or any words of wisdom that you can offer young players searching and kind of working hard and just playing the game right now? What would you say to them?
I think the biggest thing is still having fun with it. I think at the end of the day,
that's great.
Obviously there's goals, and everyone wants to make the NHL, but I think the thing that's going to take you the furthest is if you love it and you love. Obviously, there's work that comes along with it, but we're really fortunate to be doing this, and I think just have a lot of fun with it.
I love it. Any advice for Team Canada this year?
I'm not sure. I know they have a great group, and their coaches and everything. They got it all under control, and definitely looking forward to watching those guys.
Awesome. Well, you know what? You definitely have a lot of fun, a lot of passion when you play, and I think that's absolutely amazing advice. Again, strength, resilience, fun, passion, all of those things, something that you embody, and I think it shows in your game and when you play. So Barrett, thank you so much for being here, for taking the time. Wishing you all the best as you head into a new season, and hopefully I look forward to seeing you at the rink one day.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks a lot. Yeah, appreciate you having me on.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right. Take care, Barrett. All right, everybody. I don't know if you guys have any more questions while we wrap up. Great comments. Great input. I'm sorry, I know some questions were coming up here as we were chatting, but we had a lot to cover. So thank you guys all for joining. Thank you for making my first Instagram Live a great one. And once again, huge thank you to Barrett Hayton for joining us. And I hope you guys are all going to be super pumped and excited for this year's World Juniors. I know that I absolutely cannot wait. So thanks again, and look forward to seeing you on the next live. Bye-bye, everybody.